Welcome everybody to the Double G's podcast. So this is me, Franco G3, on X with our friend Degen CPA for everyone to see. How about you present yourself, my friend?
Yep. Hey, how you guys doing? My name's Degen CPA. You guys probably know me a little bit from interacting with French, and this is my second time on the podcast. Great to be here. Good guy. Looking forward to talk.
Great stuff, great stuff. So yeah, it's been quite hectic for you, Degen, over the past few months, right? Tell me
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened.
I've had a lot of fucking weird shit that kind of happened. I've been through, I got my first instance of a whole lot of fucking hate, which is kind of very interesting to deal with. I met up with a bunch of people from Twitter for my first time ever, I guess. And I also made a bunch of friends a bunch of people that I consider friends on the website. The last time I was talking to you, I didn't have that. So there's I feel like it's more of a kind of a community I have kind of around here now. And it's has a lot of direct kind of impacts into my real life, which I thought would be kind of cool to sit down with you and just kind of go through it, because no one really discusses this shit kind of in depthly. And I feel like I'm as good person as anyone to really go through this shit.
All right. So let's start. So I guess
Okay.
it would be, I guess it would be quite the guesswork that to know that you work as an accountant slash
Yeah,
CPA,
yeah.
is it?
One thing that it has been happening to me a lot that I really didn't consider up until the past couple months is a lot of these people I interact with, they're potential clients of mine. It's and now I had two calls in the past week. We're talking if we can actually work together. It looks like that's going to materialize into something. And when I first started posting on Twitter, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to bullshit, just say random shit. And as my account grew, I started getting people that reached out to me like, hey, we want to use you for what I do is QOBs. So we want to use you for QOB work. And I'm like, shit, this is absolutely amazing. If I can leverage what I'm actually doing on Twitter into what I'm doing in my professional life, that's by far the best fucking thing that can happen. No matter what I do on social media, no matter how much money I can pull from Twitter, ad revenue, or other random shit, if I can leverage this to make more money at my job, to get more clients in my job, that's by far the best thing that can happen to me. And it's a lot of people that I interact with are people that would actually hire me for my services, but I'm not pestering. I'm not trying to bother them hey, hire me, hire me, hire me. I'm just trying to be friends with people, and they'll reach out to me hey, can you do this? Can you do this project? And that works really, really well. And if I can do that, if I can convert people from Twitter into my professional job, that's by far the best thing that can happen from Twitter. And to give a little example, what this means to me is every job that I sell, or every client that I bring in, I'll get 10% of the revenue for a client that I bring into the company. And all of our projects are between $40,000 and $125,000 in fees that we've built. And a typical client will probably use us 2 or 3 times a year. So if I'm able to pull in 3 or 4 clients from Twitter, like I said, I had 2 calls with people that looks like it's going to materialize this week. I have a few coming up, but that adds up to a substantial amount of money at the end of the year. And that's also how I kind of advance my career by bringing in clients to our work, getting people that know me, being that guy that or being that person that brings in that's how I get to my next level of my career. Just selling work and selling clients, or selling work and bringing clients for our firm. And if I'm able to use Twitter as a way as a funnel for people to come in, that's by far the best thing that can happen. And that's absolutely amazing. And I never thought that would be a possibility, but now that that's been happening, I'm fuck, that's great. How do I leverage that? How do I keep that going? And kind of work from there.
Yeah, it's quite funny because the previous podcast was a bit more chill. We were
Yeah, yeah,
talking about the nomadic lifestyle,
yeah,
and
it
now it's
was.
got very finance, clients, business development, all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
shit
I mean, don't
changes.
get, I
Yep.
know, right?
Yeah, I still love posting shit like that. And what I find is just me being a normal fucking person and just having fun and dicking around. People love that shit. It's okay, I'd rather hire this guy that seems like I'll go out and have a drink with than some other boring fucking accountant that just kind of sits there and doesn't do anything. So that's kind of
That's your
an
competition.
angle that I've been trying to get to. So that's really that's nice.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. It's whether it is business, whether it is girls, everybody
Mhm.
wants money. Everybody wants girls, right? So it's
Yep.
but at the end of the day, it's just about being a fucking normal person.
Yeah, it really is. It's be your normal self, be authentic, try and be funny, but just be normal and interact with people. That fucking works. And it's okay, now if I can be the guy that does due diligence, or the QB guy in my section of Twitter that I'm at, that's great. It's I'll just be that. I'll just stick around and have fun, and whatever happens, or if I pull in clients, great. That's amazing.
And like the thing is, and people like again, right? It reminds me of the days of YouTube, where people were looking at getting money from ad revenue on YouTube. But it's kind of like you're scrapping the bottom of the barrel. Don't you realize that you have a resonance box upon your service that you can provide that you're gonna make much more money if that's what you're
Exactly.
looking.
That's kind of what it works. Kind of like talking this, unlike the ad revenue, I make a little bit of money on the ad revenue. It's like last year I made right around $2,000 once I got monetized from like July through the end of December. But if I look at it for like a full year, it double that, that's $4,000 over the year. And there's no reason why I can't like trick that up a little bit. Like I could see myself making between like 8 and 10K just from like ad revenue there, which isn't a gigantic sum, but it's great for just fucking dicking around on the internet doing stupid shit.
Thing around the internet. But the thing is, I mean, you're luckier. I had 1 month of paid. I had 1 month of paid ad revenue. Then they took it out, and
They
I've
kicked
got
it out
about.
for you. What did you do?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit on the rough side when I use swear words and everything. That's about 100 million of impression, not paid. I'm just
That's
like,
annoying. That's probably like a thousand or $2,000 you didn't get from that. That's annoying. I've seen
but
that
it's
happen
fine.
to other people too, and no one knows what
Oh,
the fuck
really?
or like why that happens. It's just like one day suddenly you're not getting ad revenue, and you're just kind of like fuck. And support sucks, and there's really nothing you can do.
There you go. Right. But hey, look, thing is, to be honest, if you have like, let's say if you have a business here, the best thing to do is not looking at, oh, I'm going to scrap the bottom of the barrel with that revenue. It's about basically
Yeah,
providing value to people, and people
yeah,
will come to you. I don't need to go and ask Twitter to pay ads
yeah.
to
Right,
advertise
right.
my service. All the
Yeah,
people
like
I didn't, yeah, all the people came to me. Go ahead.
yeah, it's just like the ad revenue is just like a little added bonus, but it's like you got your actual service that you're doing, which is like the prime thing, and the ad revenue is just like okay, like beer money or some shit. And yeah, kind of going on this, there's another portion of like making money. It's like every once in a while I'll get reached out by someone who's asking me if I want to do like sponsored tweets or something like that. I got one for like a dating app. It was like, if you post our tweets, we'll give you $100. I didn't do that. And I know another person who got a bunch of, or was doing ads or doing promoted tweets for a gambling website. And over the course of the month or 2 months, I believe, they posted or how many tweets, I forget how much it was, but they made $500 from that. So there is like little ways to like kind of like monetize like your shit from there. But by far, like the best thing that can happen is just like it's a funnel for like your like professional work, and nothing else is really going to compare to that.
And you have the ability to actually exchange. It's not just like a top-down version, right? Say,
Yeah,
for example, you're on YouTube, you're on IG, or you're on TikTok. It's like you talk down to them, right? Whereas because of the text format, people are more likely to interact with you, not from so much from a talking down perspective, and they have that more closeness. That helps.
yeah. That's what kind of another thing I want to talk about is like when I'm using this, it's like I'm not trying to like get clients or do shit. I'm trying to like make friends with people and just like interact with people. And like a lot of these people, like I bullshit with. Like I have a lot of people, a lot of common with a lot of people that I talk to. A lot of people go out, party, drink, they do like crazy shit, and I actually consider them friends. And that's kind of how you need to interact with these people. It's like the best. I started gaining a little bit of followers or like more followers when I'm just like friendly to people. If the people are commenting me, I'll comment them back. I'll follow them back. One thing I see a lot is people will have like 5,000, 6,000 followers, but they only follow back like 80 people. And it's like, if you're someone like me, who's like more like in a finance kind of world type thing, you want to be friendly to these people. You want to reply guy back. And it's like they become like friendly with you. They like you. And one thing I noticed is that if I ever get in like arguments with someone on Twitter, I have a lot of people that come out of nowhere and it's like, and then they'll get my back and it'll be like, oh, Degen did this. Degen's a good guy, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that means a lot. That's awesome to have. And it's like, you have a little bit of like a community around you before just your presence on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah, no, the other thing which can be problematic, and I don't know where how you are on this, right? But it's time management, time upkeep. Because even though I don't have like a job like you, right?
Yeah.
Like a previous job. It's like I get so many messages from clients, from people on Twitter, from so many places. So it's like it's very hard for me to keep track of all this and respond within due time. Obviously, there are priorities based upon.
It does. I heard about that when I was like a much smaller account. I don't say like I'm a huge account now, but still got room to grow. But now I get a lot of like DMs from people, and it's like it goes into like that one like other inbox, and it's like I want to respond to a lot of these people, but it takes a little bit of time. It's like I need to like devote energy. It's like I'm working all day. I have other shit I need to do, but eventually I'll get back to them and just try and help them out when I can, and just try and like be friendly with people that like DM me. It's like I'm not trying to Like, if people interact with me, I'm going to be friendly to them back. I'm going to try and like respond and just like try and be a nice person to them. But yeah, I kind of ramble. I forget where I was going with
No,
that.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
It's just about it's about making network, about friends and everything. Like for example, as well, you were saying about following people back, etc. People having your back, And thing is, people, something, like obviously I troll a lot. You troll a bit, right? Like
Yeah, true.
yeah, but the thing is, it's like sometimes people will actually look into the stuff you write and they say, "Oh, actually, this guy is actually really friendly, or he actually cares." They will read
Yeah,
into it, and they'll,
yeah,
you won't even need to make a disclaimer saying, "Oh, I'm friendly."
yeah. No, it's just like you're just kind of like that. And it's like all the hate I get from like people are people that had never actually interacted with me before in my life. They just see like random shit I post and be like, okay, this guy's an asshole, blah blah blah. I'm like, who the fuck are you? It's like I never seen you before, and you're hating on me now.
So the thing is, to be honest, it's like you can't help people that just can't help themselves. It's like they hate themselves
Yeah,
so much that they try to hate on other people as a balancing effect. It's
yeah,
like
and
this.
it's like, yeah, that's the one thing I noticed too. Is like a lot of hate I get. It will be from accounts that all they do is hate. Like I'll look on their profile and it's just like them shitting on people all the time. It's like no positivity in their life, and I'm like, okay, that's an easy block. I don't want them. I don't want to be around that person.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something, right? And it's so funny, right? Where I used to think, before, like, don't block people because it's kind of like just giving them too much importance. But do you know something? The energy flow thing is so real. It is so
It is.
fucking
It's like
real.
I just try and be positive all the time when I'm like just dicking around on Twitter. It's like I don't know how to exactly put it in words, but it's like okay, you can always make it happen. If you have like a positive mindset going into it, everything is going to work out. If you go in and just start shitting on people, it's just not going to work. Or if you're going in with a bad mentality, or like on a lot of like the kind of like dating arguments I get on like Twitter from time to time, it's just like people shitting on shit. And I'm like, okay, if dating's not working for you, improve yourself in some way. Just go to the gym more, try and make more money. Just do something to like improve your odds. Just bitching about it all the time is just not going to do anything at all. And it gives you like a bad like kind of image too, because people aren't going to want to interact with a guy that's just fucking bitching all the fucking time.
Exactly. And on top of that, it's not even like just for thing is like there's two ways when you look at build muscle, make money. Okay, it's great because you're supposedly a bit more attractive on the attribute side of things, but actually the
Yeah,
most important thing is it's about setting up that belief in yourself that you can actually achieve those things. So therefore, women are just a byproduct that you can achieve also, rather than
yeah,
just make yourself a peacock. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, exactly. And I see so much of the opposite of it. It's like I saw a post the other day. It was just like something. It's like I would have got her in high school, but I don't have a chance now. And I'm just like, why? Why the fuck don't you have a chance now? Like that's a defeatist mentality. And it's like if you have those thoughts in your head, it's just going to become true because that's what you think of yourself. And it's just like I can't stand that like thought process, and it irks me.
No, but I make jokes about girls manifesting all the time, right?
Yeah,
But I'm just like, I see guys that are gonna be overthinking about a girl, and I said, you know what? The more you overthink, the more you're gonna manifest failure. It doesn't miss because
no,
then they start fucking up because they start like just let go. Do you know something? The more you
yeah, yeah.
think, the best way to start getting more confident as a guy is about when you let go of the need of certainty.
Mhm.
That's it. Because then the outcome doesn't matter anymore, and because the need for certainty disappear, and whatever happens, happens, and you're like, you know what, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You can't let it get to you. There's times where I fail. There's times where I do great. And it's just like, it's all a part of it. It's just like, you just got to like take the hits and just fucking roll off and like nothing happened when it does happen.
And the thing is, it's like you're gonna be living another day. I mean, bloody hell, I mean, I don't know how you survive with your lifestyle. I'd be dead.
I cool down a lot. It's like, I don't party nearly as much as I used to, but I still go out and I have a good time. It's like, if I just make sure like I'm able bodied for work the next day, then I'm good. Like my weekends, a lot of times would be like, I go hard on like a Friday or Saturday, then I need a day of rest. So I just like function.
Actually, let me ask you this: if you go out on a Friday, how long does it take you to recover?
It depends on how hard I go out on like a Friday. There's been a few times where I went out and I was like, I was completely dead this Saturday and I couldn't do
Yeah.
anything. And it also depends a little bit if I'm doing anything else besides like alcohol. So if it's like alcohol, I'm normally fine if I don't go hard. But if I'm doing anything else, that normally takes like a little bit of extra day to kind of recover.
Yeah, because like for me, alcohol takes me like I rather go out on the Fridays than the Saturdays these days. I mean, call me an old
Yeah,
man, but like,
yeah. I'm getting old.
okay,
It's like I don't like to think that, but it's like there's little things that kind of sneak up on you. Like, okay, I'm been
no,
hungover for like 14 hours now. This sucks.
yeah, So it's like, and now I'm starting watching to eat, start to eat, watch what I eat, etc. But actually, just just want to wonder, like, what works and what doesn't work exactly, when it comes to Twitter. Yeah, go ahead. You want to
Twitter.
say?
Like we talked about this a little bit. Is like being friendly with people. That is by far the thing that works the most. It's like if someone interacts with me and they're being nice to me, I'm gonna be like work back with them or be friendly back with them. Try and like just have a conversation, build a friendship, because that's really what the network is. It's a social network, and you need to be social with people and go back and forth. And that's why I think like people do like me sometimes. It's like I'm saying this as kind of like a self-awareness standpoint, not like look at me, people like me, but I can tell when people do like me and they go back and forth. And that it's like I'm trying to be friendly with people. I'm trying to post I'm trying to post kind of constantly. And the post that I find work the best is when it's like a short kind of like 1 or 2 sentence post where I'm trying to be funny. And a lot of times that's what really goes viral. And shit like that really, really helps. Like I had one where it's like I made a bunch of business from like doing cocaine with a guy in Cancun. And that went like viral. And it's like shit like that goes viral when like people are out having fun and doing like a good time. So that works. And I feel like that's been kind of like my game plan while being on Twitter. It's like I'm gonna post a little bit about my work and what I do and try and make it funny. And I'm also going to try and be funny just in general when I see an opportunity for
I
it.
mean, you're
And
funny
I
in
feel like
any
that's
way.
kind of what people like. It's like it's like I'll see like long posts where it's just like a whole bunch of details, but they won't get that much likes. You need to add in some humor in there, and you can't make it like overly long. Like no one wants to read like 3 or 4 paragraphs of text. They just want to laugh like right away and kind of move on to the next one.
Don't tell it, my audience.
It's true, isn't it?
Well, to be like, it's quite funny because it's like for me, I switch a bit. Sometimes I make like the funny one or two one liner, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes I make a long post. Like I had one that had like 11 million impressions, 45K likes, right?
Yeah.
And it was 4 paragraphs. I ended up on the gains.
Yeah. It's funny. I had one that where like the gays were like commenting me before. I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? It's just like I'm looking through like all the quote tweets. I'm like, what? What's going on? This is wild.
But the thing is, it's like you found your niche and you found your approach, and you're generally like you're a happy and funny individual, and
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, and it's working. And I feel like what I've been doing has been kind of working. And it's kind of interesting going from like where I was like a year ago. Like I was in like Nomad Twitter and just kind of like the manosphere a little bit. And it's like I didn't have that many followers. I had like 500. It takes a while to get to like 500 or 1,000 because everyone starts out as like a reply guy. You don't have any followers, no one knows who you are, and you're just trying to kind of make friends. But as you kind of grow there, it kind of progresses into like, okay, now I can post memes and the memes will go a little bit viral. Or now I can be a little bit funny, and then like shit like that kind of takes off. The hardest part is getting to like 1,000 followers at first because no one knows who you are. No one wants to follow like a random person. So it's like you just got to befriend people when you first start posting there and like give some sort of value for people that like actually look at your account and take you. I don't want to say take you seriously, but that's kind of what it is in a sense.
I mean, it's crazy because it's like I was in the same position. Originally, I didn't have any fucking clue about what the hell I
Yeah.
was gonna do. I didn't have like whether it's me, whether it's 007, we were like just natural, like just, and then like I got up to 1,000. I helped 007 get up there. Now he's taking over me. It's like no, but like, and it's just like that karmic cycle.
Mhm.
And just sometimes need one viral post to get 1,000. But anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I've had a few like that. It's like a couple viral posts got me like 1,000 or 2,000 like followers. And it's always like me talking about cool shit I did, which kind of sounds like douchey, but that's kind of like what you need to do in a way. You got to like, okay, I did this cool thing, and people see that and they're like, oh, this guy did that cool thing. I kind of want to follow this person. And it's just like you got to like kind of lean into like areas that you're good at. It's like I go and party a lot. Was a decent weightlifter at one point. It's like I need to like kind of lean into that and be like, okay, this guy kind of has like things that I like or I think that are like interesting, and they'll follow you because of that.
Yeah, and do you know something? Like it goes back to what you're saying. Some of the two most viral posts that I did was when I started storytelling. Like the last one that I did, that went completely made up viral, was speaking to no. The other one is like, yeah, I met this girl. She was 33, and then people just get caught up, and then they want to read the rest, and it's just a very small story. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just agreeing with you. I had nothing else to really say there.
So it's about look at reverse engineer what works and what doesn't work, and then do it.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, honest, for me, I just spitball, right? Like I don't look at what works, what doesn't work. If I've got something in my head, I'm just saying that's it, done.
Yeah. What works for on that is like the posts that go most viral for me, or is it like when I just kind of shoot from the hip and just say kind of like random ass shit that's like on my mind? That always seems to just kind of like work. It's like I don't plan tweets. It's just like, oh, I see something, maybe I have a funny response or a funny story for it, and it's like that just kind of goes. It's just kind of what it is.
I remember that tweet about that girl that, you had like to go on to some call at 2 a.m. or midnight. It's like, Degen, what are you doing? Like a
Wait,
girl, like you were, like, let's say I think it was like a girl that was staying over one night.
yeah.
And that you were having to go on a work call while she was there.
Oh, yeah. That actually really did happen, by the way. And it was with a girl from Twitter, which is kind of funny. Like, I could, that went kind of viral. It's like, okay, now that like my face is shown, like, I don't know if I can post about shit like that anymore, but I'm still going to, because I'm at a point where it's like, I'm not going to get fired. But like stories like that are very funny. And like people love hearing about that. That was a great story, by the way. So she comes over, we start drinking, we do some Molly, to be honest. Then like 20 minutes into it, I get like a surprise work call, and it's like, okay, Degen, we need to start talking about networking capital. We don't think we just discovered the company's deferring revenue incorrectly after they told us they didn't defer it at all. So now I'm just starting to roll off my mind, trying to look at Excel and trying to calculate the correct way this one customer is deferring revenue. And I'm just like incredibly fucked up at this point, trying to figure out what's going on. But eventually did it. I did an awful job. That's probably like the worst thing that happened to me. But that is very funny. And it's like, I like talking about that shit because that's really fucking random. And it's like a lot of people can appreciate that.
And also think about it this way. Like I remember that when you say, "Oh, well, what's that working capital?" And I was like, "Hey, babe, it's lean body max in lean mass index, and not just in bodybuilding."
Yeah.
Just remember, like some of the stuff, like it just hits you anyway. But in terms of because I remember, like I asked you a bit earlier, like in the year, I said, "Hey," a bit later in the year, I said, "Hey, let's go on another one," and you told me, "Man, it's a bit." There's a high
It was like
tension.
all that doxing shit that was going on like a couple months ago. People take this website way too fucking seriously, and they want to get like angry at people. The one thing that was a little annoying about that is people will take a picture of me and they'll post and they'll post and be like, Degen's a sex offender. He's a fucking rapist. I'm like, no, the fuck I'm not. That's fucking outrageous to say about people. And it's like, I don't even want to give like a psychopath like that attention, because to like do that shit, you need to be like incredibly fucking mentally ill. And it's like who the fuck does that? I don't want to be like bothered with it. And you don't know what to do when like shit like that kind of happens. And that was kind of coinciding when I was getting heat for the first time a lot. So it was like talking about like, well, we'll get to that in a second. But like, I was a little worried about that. It's like people don't know me that well. And it's just like this person saying all this weird kind of shit about it. And a lot of people don't want their face kind of shown because they were trying to dox me. Other people in like my area were trying to get doxed, or people were trying to dox it. And I understand a lot of people are a little bit younger than me and they can't have their Twitter account associated with their work, but I don't care anymore. It's like, you're not going to get me in trouble at work. People at work follow me now. It's like,
Really? Do they?
Yeah, they do. It's kind of funny. I had to explain to people like where these calls are coming from or where I'm getting clients. And like, I met them on Twitter, and it was like, how are you fucking meeting people to do what we do on Twitter? I'm like, okay, I'll show you. And now a couple of people follow me, and someone actually asked me to do a podcast with them specifically about like the work I do. So it's like, if I do that, my face is going to be shown, and I'm just going to be really talking about like my actual like day job, which is kind of interesting. And it's eventually, I guess that kind of happens.
I think when I was with my last company I worked, right? I was like, I think one of the guy I was working with kind of like made like a suggestion called French OG, kind of like, like something that was kind of like one tweet that I wrote like about 24 hours before. And I was like, and I looked at him like, do you know what I think you do know? I didn't go ask further.
Yeah, that's funny.
You never know.
Yeah, you know what's great? It's
you
like,
never know. And also another thing. Yeah, go ahead. No, because you
no, I
never
didn't have
know
anything to say.
who's lurking. No, but you never know who's lurking. You have
no.
Hold on, but you have like
some of the
ultra high net worth. Yeah, go ahead.
That's exactly kind of what's happened. I was going to say that. It's like, there's people that like message me like, hey, can we get some work? Or you'd be great to do our like QVs. And it's like, I'll go to their account, they have like 40 followers and they never post. But it's like, people like that lurk. It's like, like if you're just, or those are people that can give you service. You just really never know.
You don't know, and you don't know how, because there's a lot of people that are very, very intelligent here on X. Like very intelligent, very established. and that want to have a look at the world from without being seen. It's like if you're a very, very successful guy and you have so many people that you used to, that are you're so used to have them sucking you up. I mean, like sucking up to you, whatever.
Yeah.
You want to go incognito, right? And Twitter is a perfect place, right? And then you can actually see also very highly intellectual people that function like you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny. It's always just like you never know who's behind these like random accounts with like 80 followers or shit like that. It could be like someone. It could be like a super genius, someone so a ton of money, or it could also be someone who's like actually fucking retarded. But so it's like a nice kind of mixture.
It's like the extreme of the bell curve, you know. That's
It really is.
and then in the it's like, and then you have in the middle, it's like, oh, actually, you know, like those guys who think they're that smart. But anyway, yeah. So in terms of dating app, because like to me, like you're the one that first forayed in it. I mean, obviously because my Twitter is a little bit
to
more.
do this by accident. And it's like I need to chill a little bit on this because sometimes I'll comment at a girl and like I'll get people be like, "Oh, Degen's got another target." I'm like, "Fuck, I can't fucking do that." That's a little bit too much. But it's like I did one. I'm not going to say her name, but everyone knew about it. We met up and it went disaster. Well, it didn't go disaster, but it didn't work out. Everyone knew about that on Twitter. It is just like kind of a funny kind of thing to have to fucking consider about it. But like, don't make it fucking public. Do not do what I did because that's a fucking. It's like it was funny in the time, but now people fucking know about it, and I feel like I'm connected to her forever because of that. And it's like I'll randomly talk to someone new, and I'm like, "Oh, I know what you did a couple months ago," and that makes it a little bit awkward. And another thing,
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah. It's like these people stay around all the time. It's like if it doesn't work out, even if you mute each other, you block each other, you're still gonna fucking see each other on the fucking timeline. It's just gonna be a little fucking weird interaction to kind of like work with and kind of deal with that. Taking a step back on that, it's like how does Twitter actually work as like a dating app? And I was thinking a lot about this. How it seems like to be better than Hinge or better than the other like traditional dating app. It's because you're not going into it as like a dating app per se. You're going into it as like a friend kind of thing. And you're able to build a connection with someone over like a week, 2 weeks, a month, or 2 months before you actually meet up with them. Before when you're like trying to figure out like, okay, this person has like a similar personality to me. And it might work out in that way. So you're just like, it's kind of like a long form kind of like social like setting. I don't know exactly how to say it, but it takes like a couple weeks for that shit to happen. And it's like, while you're talking to people, you build up a connection. You kind of realize if, okay, I'm going to get along with them, if I'm not going to get along with them, if it's going to be weird or not. And it kind of works in that sense. And another thing I want to say on this is more specific towards like people on like the East Coast of the USA. People take Acela and like the Amtrak to people in different cities way more often than people actually realize. I know of a lot of scenarios where that has happened. Every time it turned out to be a disaster, but it does happen. And people do meet up in that way. So that kind of works it like that.
What you're saying, right? Like, even though my account can be a little bit polarizing, right? But I'm gonna meet a woman that is based in the US, coming to London just for like some family stuff and everything. Because we chat on the background like for a few weeks, a few months, and it's so like, and it's not even dating to me. Like it's just like literally chilling. I'm not looking for any of that, but it's really nice because you actually get to see not the real person, but like the true personality of the people involved. You're not getting thirst trapped by with fucking like boobs and ass and everything. It's not like there's more depth to it. It's quite nice. And the funny thing, actually, hold on, that woman helped me. So I had like fucking fingernail ingrained fingernails shit, right? I was like, I don't know how to fucking sort this out. She was a nurse, right? Before. Red flags, I know.
Yeah.
And she told me how to basically get it out, just put everything. I followed exactly what she did. Within 24 hours, my problem done. Before it was before I had like a massive but you see something completely random from that thing.
And that shit happens a lot. It's like once you get like a decent size like network, or not even a decent size, but like you have a lot of people that are like specialty or like have like special knowledge in like specific fields that you can follow up into. Like I know if I ever ask like a question on Twitter, like I'll probably get like an answer like pretty quickly. I remember a couple of months ago I had these random kind of bugs like grouping outside of my like front door. I took a picture, posted it, and like within 3 minutes people were telling me what they are and how to get rid of them. I'm like, okay, this is great.
ChatGPT with people.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it. And sometimes also people come and go. Sometimes you don't see a person for a little while, then they come back. And also, in
yeah,
terms of information gathering, it is fucking mental. Like, I built a network of people and I'm here in London. They're like in Dubai, in America, in like
yeah,
in like
yeah,
even in India, and it's fucking crazy. You have this setting of mouth. Well, like people always say network, network. I came to Twitter without wanting to network, and by default, I ended up networking with so many different people, and they're either on my Instagram, they're either on my WhatsApp, they're either on my Telegram,
yeah,
either on my. And do you know
yeah,
something? Whenever like, and one maybe is good, maybe one is a dentist, maybe one's a money manager. I have my thing, everything sorted, and those people are even willing to refer people to me when they know that I can help.
yeah. That's
Easy.
awesome. It's like I'm like that in the same way because of Twitter. I have like friends all over the U.S. now. It's like if I'm in like random kind of cities, I have people to go out and like grab a beer with and have fun with and like go out and just like chill with. And it's like, especially for someone like me, it's my lease in Philly is up at the end of June, and I'm going to be a nomad again. And I'm bouncing around, but because of Twitter, I have friends all across like the U.S. and different parts of the world that I can always go to a city that there's people to meet up with and have a good time. And it's just like that's a great fucking thing to have. It's like Twitter is the best networking tool that I have ever come across because it's a huge group chat. If you're like being a normal person, you make friends, and it works really well in that sense.
Yeah. And on top of that, you never know what can come out of it. You can get
Yeah,
business, you can get potentially girls. I mean, not me, I'm not what I'm looking for here, even though I'm a bloody dating coach.
yeah,
The jokes, right? But like honestly, and even I had people that that be like, you know what, this is how you can optimize even better your business and everything. And that those are people that are selling 7-figure businesses, 8 figures
yeah,
businesses. And
yeah,
I come
exactly.
from a finance and investment background, and I'm like, shit, those people drop fucking massive value. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you can find your mentor on there as well.
you really
People
can.
may,
There's a lot of people I
people,
talk to a
yeah,
lot just about like different shit in my life. It's like everything I'm interested in, I post about on Twitter, and I get people that have like similar interests that I can like interact with, and it is a great tool in that sense.
yeah. And what do you mean by shit can be awkward and they stay
Yeah,
around?
like
What
that
do
was
you mean
more
by
towards
that?
like the dating shit. If shit doesn't work out, you see them all like you see them forever. It's like people don't realize it's like we're like a lot of times we're going to be like on Twitter. Well, a lot of times, but we're probably going to be in Twitter for a long time. And a lot of those people, if you go out with someone, and if you got 200 fucking mutual friends with someone, then it doesn't work out. You're still going to see them all the time. And it's a lot of things that I realized is kind of like on this subject. Be very like the jumbotron rule. It's like be careful of what you say to people, especially now, like if I have a little bit of power on Twitter, because I'll just fucking post a DM I sent them. I'm like, oh fucking shit, you're taking this out of context to make yourself look good. And it's just like, you got to be worried about fucking shit like that. You got to be a little bit careful in that, even if it's not talking like a girl, just like random dudes and shit. And one thing that can be weird is there's a bunch of group chats on Twitter, and people share information within in these group chats. Not talking shit on anyone in there or saying it's bad. It's like information gets out. If you talk to one person, they might tell their group chat that has like 30 or 40 people in there, and then all those people know what you said to that one person. So like information spreads very quickly in that sense. And also on that, if one person doesn't like you, they can also tell their group chat like shit about you that could be a little bit kind of misleading. And kind of on this, when I was getting the hate before a couple months ago, I posted a screenshot of like my friend had a girl come over and he peed, and the girl peed in her bed. And the story behind that was, do you remember this?
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
girl was the guy and the girl, they've been hooking up for years, and they go out together, and the girl's bisexual, and they just have threesomes together. They've been on and off for like years. And people
Oh,
took
well.
that as if my friend tried to rape this really drunk girl. And it's just like, no, that's not what I was fucking saying. You're just putting out like a new scenario to that. And people like that will fucking remember, or people will remember shit like that for a while. And they'll like try and like, then that will be kind of connected to you. Like I was talking to someone the other day and they referenced that. And they're like, I heard you and your roommate tried to rape a drunk girl. I'm like, that is completely fucking a lie, but I know where they got that from. It was from that one post where someone just made shit up without knowing and they started spreading shit. It's like that weird shit can kind of stay around too. And it's like, it's hard to combat against that when it's just kind of spread through like different kind of channels. And it's just like, that's one thing you got to worry about. People take shit out of context and you got to worry about that shit from time to time. And I wasn't good at that. It's because like I kind of like grew a little bit fast, and like I was just posting like, or I was posting fucked up shit when I was like under 1,000 followers. But like as I get like, and I grow, I'm like, okay, now I got to be a little cautious about shit because what I say, people are going to construct it in different ways. And if I post something like that, it's like, okay, or how can people interpret what I'm saying in a negative way? How can they interpret what I'm saying differently? Is it going to come across bad? Like trying to think about this is like me getting like work and just trying to be like this person on Twitter. It's like I don't want people not to like me. I'm nice to everybody, but like some still like people are gonna fucking make shit up and they're still gonna hate on you no matter what.
Exactly. You can't help those people. And it's one of those things as well. Like, think about the Hawk to a girl, right? The Hawk to a girl. The Hawk to a girl basically went from zero to hero over, over that viral moment. Basically, sent her the $1 million deal and everything. But when the responsibilities and the money coming out are just too heavy for your shoulder to bear, you have to basically make sure that you are not doing or saying ridiculous stuff, because then that can come to bite you. And it's about being wise enough beyond your years and beyond your net worth to be able to protect it, or your network.
Yep.
So
exactly.
What you did was the right thing, because you know that it's not that you're not being authentic. It's not that you're not being your real you. It's the fact that you know that there are associated risks to you saying things that can be misinterpreted, or where people can mislead other people towards you, and then you get to suffer the consequences.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, it's but that's also the other thing when you share a bit like stories from other people, other places, etc. Even sometimes, like I'll give you an example, right? The girl that I the woman that I had like that day that before the viral the viral tweet that went on the gains,
Yep.
right? I after like when she left in the evening, at my place, I said to her like, hey, look, why don't you like when you get back from Cornwall, give me a call, right? Oh, she's like, yeah, we'll do blah 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 blah, right? Next week she didn't do anything. No, but like she was really motivated.
Yeah, it's just kind of what happened.
And when that post arrived on the gains, I had like people saying to me like, in the morning I woke up, I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I see my WhatsApp, I was like,
Yeah,
it's almost like she has seen that, and then I'm screwed. Like, it's just you don't know that shit. You never.
No. It's funny. It's weird. It's funny what people like take from it.
But yeah, no, like, but overall, do you feel that, what would you say has been the biggest lesson that Twitter has taught you over the past year?
Just be nice to people. It's like, if I'm nice to you, or if you're nice to me, I'm going to be nice back to you. And that's pretty much it. It's just like, that's kind of like how you grow and like make real connections. It's like, you need to treat it as if you're like trying to be friends with people, as opposed to, I don't know, the opposite, being an asshole. If you just go into it with a good mentality and you just treat everyone with respect, you're not overly negative to people for no fucking reason, it's just going to work out for you and people are going to like you. And I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but people are going to like you. And it's like, you're going to make friends, you're going to get like connections, you're going to get business connections. It's going to work as a dating app from time to time. And it's just going to be a good overall kind of like network for you. And it's a worldwide network. So it's like, you meet people all around in different interests and whatever you're kind of like foray is. And it just really works that way. So I guess just like be like positive overall on the site.
I mean, for me, it's it's and the thing is, don't like, people will come and go. Don't take it personally.
No, it really does happen.
Yeah.
It's like you have like short-term relationships with people, men or males and females. Just people post for a while on the site, then they just disappear. It's just kind of nature of it. People get sick of like social media from time to time, and they take breaks. It's just kind of what it is.
And or sometimes it's not necessarily about, like, it's about their interest. It flies. Like, let's say, for example, someone will seek support or question because like their ex broke up with them, and they want to have a little bit of guideline and everything, and won't give them 2-3 months, and they kind of like, it's manageable. They don't. And also another thing, so many people don't have enough people to speak to, and it's almost like you become one way or another a therapist without even you saying it. You know what I'm saying? So, and Twitter is, good. You want to say something?
No, I didn't want to have anything.
Yeah, no. It's, and once you realize that, you realize actually both on the female and the male side, there's a lot of loneliness,
Yeah. And there's a lot of people being very horny all the time too, which is kind of funny.
horny.
Yes.
I was trying to be, man. I was trying to basically bring some drama, some pathos.
I'm
And
sorry.
yeah, you get,
It's like when you said lonely, I'm like, okay, there's also the opposite effect of it too. Like as we talk about like Twitter being like a dating app, it's like it's also kind of like I know a lot of people just meet up and fuck, and it's like I'm just going to come out and say like that does happen a decent amount of times too.
all right, all right. Can you share some little stories on that?
No,
Let's
I'm
get
not going to
spicy.
share.
You bait on the horniness, and now you're not
No,
sharing.
no,
Huh?
no.
Switch. Fair enough. Fair enough. No, no. Upset at first. All right. Cool. No worries. But no, but like, I remember there was this girl, right? Like, on top of that, she was not living far away from where I live. She was living in Essex, right?
Yeah,
And start talking to me like I'm a friend and everything.
yeah,
And and then she's like, and then she said, "But I don't understand why guys think that I'm just a whore." And so I go and I look onto her profile. She has porn videos, okay, but like homemade, right? And I
yeah.
and then I saw some guys from very well known porn actors, Jason Love and everything, fucking her. I'm just like, well, you know,
Yeah, it's like I kind of fix. It's like you can't say that while you have that. It's like be a little like aware of like what you're getting into and like the comeback that's going to be right there to be like grabbed.
also another thing which I found very interesting, because I don't know if you saw what I did, but I made an MBTI test for the people that follows me, right?
Yeah.
And just to see more or less how was the Twitter population um, distribution,
Mhm.
or at least on my following would be, and it was crazy the amount of INTJs on there. Like there's a
That's nuts.
lot
I
of
know. Yeah. And when I told you I was, you're like, no, no way. And I'm like, it's what I get every single time I do the test. It's like I'm good at like being social when I need to, but a lot of times I just fucking stay home and I don't do shit. And it's like I need like it's like when I go out hard, but it's like a lot of times I just fucking stay at home and I'm boring. Like yesterday, I went to bed at like 7 p.m. and it was nice.
Yeah, no, but you see, thing is, it's like you're not the typical type of INTJ. I know, because I deal with so many of them. I know,
Yeah,
and it's so
yeah,
it's just kind of like, to me, I was like, you're more like me. You're more like an ENTP, and I'm like, but the thing is, you'll have a lot of introverts on Twitter, so always remember that whenever you
yeah.
deal with those people. So their experience may not necessarily be yours as an extrovert.
Sure.
And also another thing is, bear in mind that they also tend to be very introspective, to
Yeah,
the point that
yeah,
they
yeah,
overthink a lot. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I noticed that too. And it's like I had people tell me before, it's like you were overthinking shit. I'm just like, I guess I don't know how not to do that. That's just kind of how like my brain works.
Are you overthinking shit, man? I would have not
I
thought
don't know.
that.
It's like it is what it is. It happens.
Yeah. No. So, all right. Say, by the way, have you checked ever your audience on Twitter? Like, what was the average age range of the people?
Yeah, I actually posted like some posts the other day trying to figure that out. It was like I was
Okay.
doing polls to try and figure out what the average age range was. And most of the people that follow me are between 26 and 30. Then after that, it's 20 to 25. So it's like those are the two like bigger demographics. Then when it gets to like 30 to 35 and 36 plus, those are or lesser. So like I have a larger audience of people that are younger than me between like 20 and like 29, which seems to be like people that follow me.
Actually, you know what? You should actually check on your premium analytics. Check on your premium analytics right now, and
Okay,
then you'll
I'm
see on
getting
your
there.
audience tab,
Okay, premium analytics. Nope, that's not it. Oh,
premium.
move it here.
Hold on, premium, and it says analytics. Yeah,
Where is it? I'm in like premium quick access.
premium analytics, right? And
Radar.
then
Is
you
it
should
radar? I don't think it's radar.
no premium. Then you go analytics. Are you paying the your blue check?
Analytics. Here we go.
Yeah.
Audience. Here we are.
All right, what does it say?
Okay. 13 through 17, 1%, which is probably good. I don't want minors following me. 18 through 24 is 52%. 25 through 34 is 40. Then anything above 35 through 44 is 3.7, and everything else gets smaller. And my male to female is 81 male, 18% female, and 6% non-specified.
You know, it's quite funny. You actually have a younger audience than me, even though you're an older guy.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of how it works. And it's like, I look at it as like, I'm a single guy and like I'm 36 now. I'm a single guy, but it's like a lot of people that are younger that like it's a high likelihood they're going to be single in their like 30s. More people are single than ever. And it's like if I'm still going out and having a good time, they can look at, I don't want to say they look up to me, but they can see people like in the future still having a fun life and still having a good life. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of like what I like to try and like show people. I'm like, this is so good. And now I have more money to like go out and do shit. So it's like I just try and like display that a little bit, but not to be like a douche about it. But I think that's kind of like how people or like why some people follow me sometimes.
Yeah, man. You know why I follow you? Because I want to have a good laugh. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
there's like
yeah. It's always good just sticking around. That's my favorite thing to do. It's like I just love fucking shit posting all the time and just fucking posting stupid shit.
yeah, it's like, and it's a bit different because like if I look at my follower, like like sometimes there's a bit of there's a bit of red pill in the atmosphere, and I look at DJ and I'm like, that's my spirit, like that. That reminds me of the good
Yeah,
old days, right? Before I used
yeah,
to be,
yeah.
before I became uh, an old chump. Let me actually just check. Yeah, no, yeah. For me, I've got about 95% male.
Yeah, that's the surprising. I'm surprised I have that many females, to be honest. I always notice when
Uh,
girls follow me random. You know what's kind of odd? Like if I get followed by like an OnlyFans girl, like I usually don't follow them first, then I'll follow them back. Then I'll post a video of like them getting fucked on like their timeline. I'm just like, I don't want to fucking see that really. And now I got to fucking block them. It's like looking at Twitter in public. It's like that can't happen.
But like actually, but what are you talking about? Like those bot accounts with zero people, or like people
No,
like
it'll be
with
like
actually?
actual like really like OnlyFans like girls that have like Twitter presence. And I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna be nice or attractive. I'll follow them back. Then it's just like I see them like getting fucked or sucking a dick, and I'm just like, okay, I don't need to see that on Twitter. Block. Goodbye. Sorry, you seem nice, but that's too much for me.
But actually, that's another point. It's like if you look at OnlyFans, and if you even look at how do you say, at porn actress, Twitter is
Mhm.
one of their main fucking hubs. Why?
Yeah, I know like girls that get like they'll have like cash apps in their bios, and they legit do make money from those cash apps. Like people will send them money, and a lot of them, I don't want to call out people, but some will sell pictures and never like make it like a public thing. It'll be like sometimes people will DM ask them and be like, okay, send me like $200 on my cash app. And that's something a lot of people don't realize happens too.
So I mean, I never understood that shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling
I
you,
would
like,
never ever do that. I'm like, porn is free. Like, why do you need to do this?
I guess it's for the connection.
Yeah, I guess. I don't want the connection though.
No, you just want the fun. Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, no, like, yeah, like I got about mine. I've got about 50%, 25, 34. Crazy. And then, yeah, about the similar amount, 18, 24, and 25. It's literally like a bell curve, right? Like,
Yeah, that's funny.
mostly, I guess, in the States for you, right? Mostly
Mhm.
States followers, yeah,
Yeah,
same.
in the States, it's 65 US, 9% UK, 4% Canada, and everything else is like less than 2%.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. What else would you like to talk before we close the pod?
I don't really know. I feel like we like walked through kind of everything that I had kind of like thought would be good. Do you have anything else that you would think would be a good kind of topic to talk about?
Actually, do you know something? Yeah, but mostly for your followers, actually.
Yeah.
Like you told me, like you get like a lot of requests by guys who say, "Oh, what do I need to do to become like you?" Like a CPA or like someone making that amount of money, etc., etc. Like if you were to bite size, give them an answer so that they could actually get also value from this pod, not only from the Twitter side, but actually from a professional perspective.
Yeah. It's just like be like a real person on Twitter. It's like don't try and be someone you're not. Just like post like real shit that you're doing. Be friendly to people that interact with you, and just try and make connections because it's like a networking site for everything. And you gotta like just be like a normal person, someone that they want to hang out with, and shit kind of works out that way. Because you're just gonna favor people naturally that you're friendly with, as opposed to just some random person in any kind of situation. So that's pretty much like the biggest thing I would say. Just like be a normal person, be friendly with people, don't pick fights for no reason, and just kind of be a pleasant person to interact with, I guess.
But more in the professional side, like let's say why, like become a CPA, why, how, best course of action, and in order to be in a position
Yeah.
like you, not so much on Twitter, but on like professional world.
There's a lot to really talk about here, but like for like a CPA, a lot of people reach out to me as like, okay, what do you think I should do after college or kind of move like in your direction? And there's a lot of angles you can go like as a CPA. So Like normally as a CPA, you start out, you go to audit, probably at a big four, then you transfer out and try and figure out your niche. But I feel like I have a very good niche that I am in now. I'm fully remote. I make good money for where I am. So it's like you got to figure out like a 5 or 6 year kind of plan, or like where you want to be like in 8 years, and just kind of work backwards. Be like, okay, these are the steps I need to do to get to where I want. And it takes a little bit to kind of figure it out, because when you get out of college, you don't know exactly where you want to go, but you can look at it and be like, okay, this is what I want my life to look like. What are the steps I'm going to, or what's the closest I can get to that? It's like, what's the best, or what's the closest I can get to that lifestyle that I want? And just trying to work backwards and develop it into like actionable steps that you can do it. Like when I came back from the US a couple of years ago, or when I came back to the US, I'm sorry, I lived abroad in Asia for a year. So I came back in the US, I knew I wanted to be remote again. So I took a job in Chicago that was on site. But I knew if I took that job and stayed there for a couple of years, it would open up it would give me more experience in what I need to do, doing more experience what I'm doing. And that way it would allow me to get like a remote job into the future. So I moved to Chicago. I stayed there for 2 years. The pandemic hit, and I actually joined a firm that was fully remote, and they just didn't care where I lived. So after that, it's like I had that 2 years where I had to just kind of do something that wasn't my favorite thing, but the time's going to pass anyway. And it's just like you just sometimes need to take those steps to get to where you want to be.
Okay, so basically, if I translate that, guys, is all right, go work for, like, basically graduate, go to a big four, eat shit, go to another company, eat shit, understand which niche you want to go, and then literally find after, like basically those investment bankers that eat shit the first 2 hours, the first 2 years, and then try to move into to private equity. Technically,
that's like the typical path for like shit like that. But it's like you just need to know where you want to go. It's if you're just kind of like going through the actions and just kind of like I'm just going to my job, and you should know like, okay, where do I want to be in like 5 years or like 8 years, or just have like a good idea of where you're trying to work towards. Like I know a lot of people in real life that just kind of they just go to their job and they just don't even think about it. It's just like, yeah, I'm bringing home a paycheck. What do I care? And I'm thinking like, okay, how do I like maximize my life? What's the best scenario I can be in? And I'm trying to get to that all the time. And you need to have that like kind of mentality for that. And be like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this to get there.
There you go. Well, see, I guess we can wrap it up on those wise words for an established Degen CPA. I'll say goodbye to you guys, and we'll see you very soon. Hopefully with another episode of the Double G's podcast, my friend 007. So just to let you know, we're still working together. It's just that I'm just making a little bit of content in the meantime because we're very, very busy at the moment with clients and, side projects, so that people don't think that we split or anything. We're still good. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the evening, guys. I mean, Degen, and we'll see you later, guys.
Yep.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.